Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. Bring this over here so I'm not looking down. Okay, what I'm going to be going over today and discussing. I don't have everything written down, but I've got little pinpoints of stuff. I'm going to be going over letter to presidential candidates. I'm going to read you what I've written that I've updated. If I didn't do it, I may have done it in another video. I'm going to go ahead and read it again. I'll go ahead and read it again. The questions I've done. Advocating tips for youth survivors. These are not ones from professionals or anything. These are advocating tips from this survivor that have worked for me since I started advocating as soon as I started college the fall of 1999. So trust me, these tips work. Then I've been creating shirts and the Zazzle store. That I think it's thoughtful sayings. It's separate from the TBI Raiders store because that I'm gonna kind of leave that alone right now and let the volunteers that get involved in it them create icons for that so we can start raising money. And I'm gonna wait till the board established for it so we can raise money for it, and the money that I make off the thoughtful sayings and everything that I'm going to use for gas money and to travel, to do all this stuff and to maybe get like gift prizes if I go somewhere to speak and everything. So that's the intentions behind the thoughtful sayings store. Okay, on to read the here's the letter. And I'm going to have to go find the questions because the questions aren't on the webpage. I've got the questions right here in my notebook. Because I had to come up with new questions that were updated. Some of them they're on TBI though. They're not updated. Okay. There's one area I think I need to update on Oklahoma stat in the letter. I'll discover where that is as I read. Okay, here's the letter. Hello, my name is Alicia Murray. I am an advocate and survivor of a traumatic brain injury, which is also known as a TBI. On November 22nd, 1997, which will be 26 years this year, I sustained a left-right TBI from being broadsided at 60 miles an hour on the driver's side. Since 2002, while I was in college, I started TBI Raiders to be an online club. TBI survivors across not just Oklahoma, but other states as well as other countries began reaching out to me. I wanted to do more as an advocate, so I learned more about how the politics of things worked and how it affected those of us who live with the TBI. More needs to be done to help this next generation coming up who live with the TBI, PTSD, and disabilities, all three of which I live with. In the last nearly 20 years, okay, I forgot to change that one because it's been more than 20 years. It's been nearly 30 years now because it's going to be 26 years this year. So I need to go change that little area. I need to put 30 years. Now I need to put in the last nearly 30 years. Now, gosh, I feel old. I have networked with people in other organizations all over. There are other states and even someone in Australia wanting to start what I have created with TBI Raiders and the program I've laid out. Gosh, I have not talked to that person in forever. They had mentioned they wanted me to come present and help get it started there, but I have told them I want it. I want to get it started in Oklahoma first, developed right, and then spread it to other places. I learned so much as an advocate before I came to Stillwater to where I could become involved in the Oklahoma Intercollegiate Legislature and learn how to write bills. I know that there is more than that you learn in the organization. But I learned a lot more by volunteering. Ugh, volunteering I was doing with TBI Raiders, along with being involved. Okay, get adjusted, because this is going to be a long, well, a long read. This is just a nutshell of the long list of things I've been involved in. The Able to Disabled Association, College Republicans, National Youth Leadership Network, that I was involved in for 5 years, and its governing board, which was a year, 1 or 2 years. I think it was a year, something like that. Oklahoma Association of Higher Education and Disabilities, IDB Advisory Panel, and United We Ride Advisory Committee. Those are the ones I can remember being involved in right offhand. The first 2 summers, '04 and '05, I was involved in NYLN. I was able to attend conferences in Washington, D.C. That was cool, guys. I met those who worked in the current as well as the previous 2 presidential administrations and got to talk to them about what I was doing in Oklahoma. They were very inspiring conversations that made me want to come home and create something for students and young adults with traumatic brain injury. They were some they were some pretty awesome people that worked in the first Bush administration. Don't ask me which of the Clinton administrations. It was one of the Clinton administrations. And then in the last Bush administration, but it was his first term that whoever I met that, that I got to talk to. Now, is that kind of the, is that the kind of inspiration you have had on the next generation, or have you just been molding them into more of the same old, same old? One must ponder on that one, because I could kind of. Okay, I won't comment on that. Oklahoma may have moved up 2 spots from where we are, but our state is still in the top. Ooh, that's where I need to update it. We are no longer in the top 10 states. We're in the top 20 states, more specifically top 15, because we're number 3. We're no longer in the top 10 states. At the time we were in the top 10 states, we were number 5 when I sent this. We were number 5 for the longest time. We are now number 13 with the most cases of traumatic brain injury each year. So we are number 13 with the most cases of traumatic brain injury each year. Traumatic brain injury affects more Americans each year than breast cancer, HIV/AIDS, spinal cord injuries, and multiple sclerosis combined. Yeah, I said that right. That is all of those things combined. If you would like to know where the counties fall, I found a map of the counties that was in the summary of reportable injuries in Oklahoma, traumatic brain injury in Oklahoma, 1992 to 2003. Below are what the map showed. And I found this map when I was at Rose State. That's how I know this stuff, because I got the map when I was at Rose State. I don't know what on I don't know where it's at, like what the average rates are now. 50%, 50 plus percent above state rate to 25 to 49% above state rate, and then 1 to 24% above state rate. We have Harper, Roger, Mills. Okay, Harper, Roger, Mills, Alfalfa, Ellis, Beckham, Major, Garvin, Harmon, Noble, Adair, Dewey, Gregg, Kiowa, Ottawa. And I probably got the rates wrong, but I was just reading those. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Caddo, Cherokee, Blaine, Creek, Kingfisher, Okmulgee, Jefferson, yeah, I pronounced this one wrong. Oakfulls, uh, Oak, Folks. Okay, I can that one. I used to be able to say that. I used to be able to say it. Yeah, I can't say it anymore. McLean, Seminole, Pontotoc, Potawatomi, Cole, Oklahoma, Pawnee, Washita, Mays, Greer, Muskogee, Jackson, McIntosh, Stevens, Haskell, Carter, Hughes, Murray, Bush, Mataha, Marshall, Atoka, Bryan, Choctaw, or was that Choctaw? Did I leave a T out? I don't know. McCurtain, below state rate. Cimarron, Texas, Beaver, Woodward, Woods, Garfield, K, Osage, Washington, Tulsa, Newada, Rogers, Wagner, Delaware, Custer, Tillman, Comanche, Cotton, Grady, Canadian, Logan, Payne, Lincoln. I'm in Payne, grew up in Lincoln, Cleveland, Love, Johnston, Pittsburgh, LaFleur, Sequoia. We have all those states. We have all these states working to help those with traumatic brain injury. California, Washington, Colorado, New York, Virginia, to name some. Why can't we? I'll tell you why. People in this state care more about politics. If that isn't the case, then would you please answer the following questions? If you wouldn't mind, I would like to post your responses to these questions on Survive to Vote and Raid Oklahoma website. And it gives the link, which is S. Well, I posted the link on the chat. I haven't updated the page. They will go on yet. But this way, those in Oklahoma living with a traumatic brain injury can see where you stand. Attached is the confidentiality form I have for my organization. And the confidentiality form, that I had help creating that from the former secretary for former State Representative Danny Morgan. Okay, now we get to the questions and I can go to my notebook. Yay! Okay, question number 1. Do you believe traumatic brain injury, or what is also known as a TBI, should be in a category of its own, considering once you sustain it, you may or may not acquire additional disabilities? Plus, this is something that you can't be born with. This is to create more dialogue on the subject. That's why I asked the question. Question number 2. Those with disabilities need help in the job sector, such as with pay. But SSDI dictates how much our Social Security insurance dictates how much we are allowed to earn. Why are we not allowed a seat at the table when it is discussed? Okay, on terms of civic engagement, because it's so important, apparently, because some elected officials talk about it so much, or those in the community and everything. Why are we never thought of when you want to do something important? I know that was the first thing. I think there was another question I was wanting to ask in terms of civic engagement. I don't remember. Might come to me later. If you're elected to office, will you commit to employing people from the traumatic brain injury, post-traumatic stress disorder, and disability community from both the veteran and civilian worlds? Yeah, okay. That was question. See, I've asked 1, 2, 3. That's question number 4. Question number 5. Do you know someone who has sustained a traumatic brain injury? Question number 6. In the report to Congress, the Management of Traumatic Brain Injury in Children, Opportunities for Action, it states that in 2003 there were approximately 640,000 TBI-related ER department visits, 18,000 TBI-related hospitalizations, and 1,500 TBI-related deaths among children 14 years of age and younger. In this letter, I say that Oklahoma is one of the top 20 leading states. We're number 13 in the nation, which I need to go update that in the letter. Ugh. With most cases. What do you propose can be done to start changing this stat for our state? If you were to look, okay, 7. If you were to look at the site for the CDC under TBI, severe TBI, it states the estimated economic cost of TBI in 2010, including direct and indirect medical costs, is estimated to be approximately $76.5 billion. Additionally, the cost of fatal TBIs and TBIs requiring hospitalizations, many of which are severe, account for approximately 90% of total TBI medical costs. Is there any way you think it can be balanced here in the state? 8. When it comes to TBI-related death, self-harm was the leading cause. Besides promoting getting professional help, I would really want to see something done on encouraging kids building up their circle of friends, or just people building up, support groups or something. Teaching them about who you surround yourself with defines you, and really build your. And I forgot what I was going to do with that question because I think I was reading it to the Rev Up group or whichever group. And anyways, what type of awareness would you do to help? Let's see, that was 7, 8, 9. On the GOP's website, on the platform page, under the Restoring the American Dream, it says, "We are the party of a growing economy that gives everyone a chance in life, an opportunity to learn, work, and realize the prosperity freedom makes possible." Do you believe this is in any way, shape, or form really true? When there are those with TBI and disabilities who are fighting to have an equal chance, and I know there are those in the party who believe TBI, PTSD, and disability are not an important issue. What say you? And with those that don't believe it's an important issue, isn't that kind of where are you kind of with Republicans that they're acting like it's not an important issue and don't really care? Aren't you kind of lying in the face of veterans when you say you care about their issues and you care about helping them? Aren't you just lying to them? Sorry, that kind of struck a nerve with me when I hear that from people. On the Democrats' website, it says your mission is to elect Democrats across the state of Oklahoma and to educate citizens about the cultural diversity, freedom, and equality that the Oklahoma Democratic Party represents. Is that a little too much to assume about the party? That all candidates will be able to do this. How will you be able to ensure you have candidates that truly represent when you brag the party represents something? And then if elected, what do you plan on doing to ensuring you carrying out that mission? I hate when I write these questions down and I don't write all the words. I wasn't able to write a question down for the independent party because I went to their website and there wasn't enough to get a thing written down, and I'm a registered independent. Darn it. How would the Libertarian Party, compared to the Republican and Democratic Party, be able to help ensure that those living with a traumatic brain injury had a better quality of life and once they left the hospital were still able to gain access to services to providers who would best meet their needs to help them? Those with traumatic brain injury and disabilities, depending on their situation, may need to depend on both Social Security insurance and Medicaid or Medicare. I was kicked off a few months after I was married. Even before I was married, I was only allowed to make $80 a month before money started getting cut back. What are you going to do to help those with traumatic brain injury and disabilities who depend on SSI and either are completely unable to work or can work some but not work the total time someone without a disability can? There are just so many hiccups with the disability thing. Yeah, I'm just looking at. Okay, so that is that for that stuff. Any questions? Nope. And then on the Thoughtful Sayings store, I purposely created graphics where it's a lot of them are like where you put words and it's just graphics that are like blank where you should be maybe words or something, but that's where you could go. I made it to where you can go in and fill it yourself and fill it for like your organization or your group, or if you're to have an event, you can put it there and everything. You scroll down. I've got some stuff for dancers. Got some postcards. Created something for graduates. Got a pillow. Got a deck of cards. I got a watch. I got a poster. Got magnets. I don't feel like looking at everything. So that is everything I've planned on talking about today. So post any questions and comments that you have for me related to the video or about the store or the websites, and I will answer them in another video. So I hope you guys are doing wonderful. And if you're in Oklahoma, I hope you're staying cool because it's hot out there.